Hi, everybody. Okay, I can't see anybody out there, so I know some of y'all have seen me before. I was here about a month ago, and I was explaining to everybody in the Ambassador Club about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and what we do. I am a volunteer. I do not work for the foundation. There's a reason that I volunteer, though, and that's what I want to tell you about. For those of you that don't know, the Make-A-Wish Foundation was started in Arizona years ago with one little boy who wanted to be a policeman. He was sick. That was his dream. That was his wish. It was not granted because he passed away before he was able to have his wish. But his parents were so touched by the fact that the local police department was willing to do so much to make this boy's wish come true. They decided that they wanted to continue this. And so, flip it forward to 1983 in South Florida, the Plantation Women's Club granted the first wish here. And ever since then, it's been going. Last year, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, first of all, let me tell you what Make-A-Wish is, as opposed to what it isn't. It is not a foundation that grants wishes to dying children. It is a foundation that grants wishes to children with life-threatening illness. Many of them recover. They become involved with Make-A-Wish when they grow up. Some don't make it. The foundation is very near and dear to me, as a lot of people know. The reason that I volunteer, if you want to go forward another 20 years after 1983, when the South Florida Make-A-Wish Foundation began, in 2003, my daughter, Leora Woodsmall, was granted a wish. And Leora was 15 years old, normal teenager, and yeah, I see a lot of you guys, and I said this when I was here before, that, you know, I can look at every one of you and go, my God, that's her. It's amazing to me. I still love to talk to teenagers. I love to see teenagers, because it just, I still have two. I have a 14 and 16-year-old boys. But my daughter was diagnosed with cancer in November of 2002. It was a rare cancer. No one ever heard of it, and no one lives. It's an incurable cancer. My daughter could tell you the difference between a primary and a metastatic leiomyosarcoma. She could tell you what morphine did to her and what fentanyl did not do to her. She could give you a list of medications. She could tell you everything you needed to know. She needed a break, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation was what we needed. It was what the whole family needed. They came to us through her social workers, who recommended that we have a wish for my daughter. And so Leora, being the teenage girl that she was, loved clothes, loved shoes, loved jewelry, all that kind of stuff. So she decided she wanted a shopping spree. Now, Make-A-Wish, you can either be something that you'd like to be, you can go somewhere that you'd like to go, whether it's Hawaii or Iceland or anywhere else you want to go, or you can have a thing. You can have a shopping spree, or whatever it is that you wish. And this is for children between 2 and 18. I believe it's 3 and 18. So she decided that she wanted a shopping spree at the Falls. I don't know if anybody's ever been there, but this is a really great mall. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation arranged that they picked us up in a limo. Her best friend was able to go with, and we went down to the Falls. And this child was going through chemotherapy at the time. She was about 3 months into her cancer, and it was a really hard time for her. And she was very sick, very tired, had a really hard time getting around. She couldn't see her friends enough because we moved down to Hollywood to be near Joe DiMaggio. She was being treated there. We lived in North Broward. So, as much as we could, we tried to keep things normal, but she was in the hospital 5 times for the 5 months that she was actually sick. What Make-A-Wish was able to do was to give my daughter one day, and to give the family one day where we didn't have to think about cancer. And we were actually able to have a good time. We followed Leora. We had a hard time keeping up with her. As she hit the ground running from the limo, she had a personal shopper. She was able to go to Macy's and, I mean, everywhere. Coach, she bought a Coach purse. She and her best friend bought matching outfits, Reeboks, the whole thing. When we were done with that, she was able to kind of get a second wind. And the thing that's so special about the Make-A-Wish Foundation is that my daughter left this world understanding the generosity of strangers. Not just through Make-A-Wish, but through a lot of other places and people and organizations. But the Make-A-Wish Foundation, what's really incredible, 79 cents of every dollar that you donate to the Make-A-Wish Foundation goes directly to a child's wish. The average cost of a wish is $5,000. So you can see the need that we have to continue to raise money all the time. There are, if you go to www.sfla.wish.org, that's the Make-A-Wish Foundation in South Florida, you can get on the mailing list and you can see just a whole slew. They've got a calendar of events, things going on all the time. They really are a needed thing, and we forget in life because we're so busy and everybody's running around and there's, you know, we forget to slow down. We forget how important it is to live. And it's really a shame when it takes something that's life-threatening. In our case, it was devastating. And to see that, you know, you really have to stop and you have to put the brakes on. You have to look at things and go, you know what? I got to put this aside for a minute, and I have to relax, have a little bit of fun, because you don't know how much time you've got to do that. You know, we found out that the time wasn't much, but we had such great memories. All of the things that she spent $2,600 at the falls, and all of the outfits that she bought, everything that she got there. I don't have it on tonight. I wear her jewelry that she bought that night. Her friends, I gave her outfits to. It gave a little something to them to have a little bit of closure when she was gone. And so it's not just taking this child and sending the family to Hawaii, and it's not just going on a shopping spree, and it's not being able to ride in a limo. You know, these things are great for a kid to be able to do some of these things and to be able to give their family some of the things that can bring everybody together and give everybody a little bit of relief in a really, really difficult time. Like I said, not everybody's terminal. Sometimes people, they have families and they're dealing with this for years. We may have a 16-year-old kid who has had hemophilia since he was born and goes through his whole entire life just a lot of drudgery, a lot of procedures, a lot of medicine, a lot of hospital stays, a lot of fear for the families because they just never know what's going to happen. And my daughter came to me after her wish was over, and she said, "Mommy, I know this is going to sound crazy because I have cancer, but this was the best day of my life." And this was something that I have been able to share over and over again, and I've told this story 5,000 times now. I work at Applebee's in Margate, and our Margate store, Coral Springs, and Tamarack, coincidentally, is collecting money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So it's everywhere. And, you know, they're not doing it because I work there, but they're excited because I work there and because we're doing this. We have one child, we're sponsoring his wish, so our goal with our 3 stores is $5,000 so that we can sponsor this boy's wish. He has hemophilia, he's 8 years old, and he is just delightful. And his family's tired. So we have raised, our store has the responsibility for half of the $5,000. A couple came in, that's a regular couple in the store, Tuesday, I believe, and they donated $1,000. And it just blew me away. Because I go to my tables and I tell them we're collecting for this child for Make-A-Wish, and I go through the whole thing, and people donate a couple of dollars here and there, and we put the cards up, and it's just so beautiful because you see there's more and more cards now all over the walls. And then these people come in and they donate $1,000. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I had no idea what to do but to sit down with them and tell them it's not very often that you get to see the result of what you've done. And I'm it. And I volunteer for the Make-A-Wish Foundation because I'm blessed. And a lot of people have a hard time understanding that because my daughter died 2 months after her wish. And she was sick for 5 months. And it's been a really hard 4 years. but I've been so blessed because she left this world knowing the kindness of strangers. I continue to see it. I continue to live, and I continue to see. And I see kids, and I see your age, I see your parents, I see so many people who are so generous, all the way down to the little tiny kids. It's just amazing how much kindness there is, and this is what I want to share with everybody, is that we get very caught up in negative, and you guys are doing such a beautiful thing, and what you're doing tonight is so important, and I want you to know, and I want to be able to thank you on behalf of mothers like me, and children like my daughter, and friends like Liz, her best friend, and everybody else who is involved, and everybody who gets to be so lucky to see this. You know, that we can pull a blessing out of something that's so sad and so terrible, and you guys are part of it. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of every parent whose child is going to have a wish because of you and because of everybody else who's done this. I thank you very much.